Get it!
Hi everyone, I want to talk a little bit about my last week of prep and kind of what I have going on next week. My next week is going to be kind of crazy. Today I actually accepted a teaching position that's in Cincinnati, Ohio, so I have to move there Monday. And so I'll be doing my squat attempts Monday early in the morning. Assuming that I can cut down in the weight. If I'm not able to cut down to the 180 pounds, I'll put off doing the squats until later in the week. And that will be at a completely new gym at a new location if I do weights, and it will be once I'm fully moved into Cincinnati. So I have to figure that out. I drive down tomorrow to look at apartments, and I believe the first day for me as a new teacher is Tuesday, so there is very quick turnaround. So I'll be at a new gym, new place, and all of that. But I'm really happy to be starting my teaching career, and honestly, it's kind of weird with this channel that I talk more about my personal life than I do on my other one. I think that's just more or less because my personal life does affect when I can train and how I can train. I think that's something that allows or causes a lot of people that make fitness videos to talk about themselves more so than they would if they just talked about political things like I do in my other channel. Because if I talk about Trump or Hillary, it's not really relevant what location I'm currently being or whatnot about my personal life. It's more important to talk about the ideas. But when I talk about my training and whatnot, it's kind of important if I'm saying, yeah, I'm moving 3 hours away and I have to completely change my plans that I had for the next week. It's a little more relevant. So it is kind of a unique thing, and it's something that if you do follow just this channel, you kind of get a unique perspective in my personal life more so than you would with my other one. My other channel, I just kind of just talk about ideas, and why I do enjoy that, it is kind of a unique way to make videos where I have to, or at least I feel like I want to talk about things that relate to me more on a personal level. Although my job, I guess that will be starting, won't really be related to my fitness goals. It will have an impact on when I can train and how I can train and all of that shebang. But hopefully I can get down to that 180 pounds. Like I mentioned, I go down tomorrow to visit the apartments to make sure that's where I want to live and to maybe fill out the paperwork. I don't know if I'll do it that day or next week. But then when I come back, I'll have all day Sunday to drop weight. I'll be packing, so I'll actually uniquely be using packing to help cut weight in order to get down to that 180. I was about 185.5 this morning, and so hopefully it's not too difficult to cut down with that. What I will probably be doing on Sunday is cutting out salt and then trying to cut water, so I can cut as much water as I possibly can. Then once I hit that weight, I'll be recording that I hit that weight via video, because that's what you have to do for the online competition, to show that you're at whatever weight that you say that you're at. And so I'll be recording that with the date, so it'll probably be pretty early in the morning. Then I'll just start refeeding as soon as I have that, with a lot of salt, a lot of whatnot. And it depends. I haven't settled on the time that I want to lift on Monday, but it depends on when I'm moving down. My dad has to get a U-Haul to take all my crap down to Cincinnati, and obviously we'll be there in Cincinnati on Monday because Tuesday is the first new teacher orientation day. So I do want to get the lift in on Monday beforehand, so I don't have to try to push squats in at a new place and a new location later that week. But if I have to, then I will, because I definitely think I'm close enough to that 180 pound mark now to where it'd be rather silly of me just to kind of stop and do whatever weight that I'm at now. And I don't think I won't be able to get down to that 180 pounds for Monday. I don't think that will be a huge deal to do, and the only difficult thing moving forward is that I will be doing the bench and the squats in separate days, pretty far away from each other. I probably won't do the bench stuff for the weekend not obviously this weekend or this past weekend if you're watching this on Monday, but the weekend at the end of this week, so Saturday or Sunday, depending on where I go and all of that. I have to find a gym, but thankfully I'm pretty close to the city of Cincinnati and all of that, or I guess technically I'm in it. I'm kind of in a suburb, or not Cincinnati, but like downtown, but right by it. So there should be quite a few gyms around. At least from my quick Google search, I have found quite a bit. If you do have any recommendations for whatever reason you know about the Cincinnati areas and the lifting gyms that are in the area, please let me know. I do want to find a place that is 24/7. That would be ideal and similar to the place that I was at as far as price and whatnot. But I'm willing to pay a little bit more because I have a job now, so I'll have some sort of money coming in, so I'll be able to put a little bit more money into myself without feeling like I'm going to run out of money. Although I do have some money in the bank right now, it is nice to have, will have a steady income moving forward. But that's a rather exciting part of my life, and that does make me have to make adjustments for my training. But that's something I was anticipating, not this quickly. That is a pretty quick turnaround. Most schools take about a week or whatever to give you a decision, but this school starts really quick. So they had a decision quickly today, interviewed today, and got a job offer today. So it was a very quick turnaround, but I'm glad, so very glad to be done with the interviewing process. I interviewed at a countless number of schools, probably around 20. I think maybe that's exaggerating it. At least it felt like I did like dozens of schools, and just having to answer the same questions and talk about myself. And essentially I explained this to my mom the other day. It's like doing a school presentation, and you think the presentation went well. The people who watch it, they clap and say you did well, and then the next day you get a paper back saying, you failed. And then then having to do the same thing over and over and doing it multiple times a day is not very enjoyable. And I've essentially been doing that my whole summer. So thankfully, I've been able to get around the stress of that, and actually, hopefully this is the end of that stress. I can put up with teaching and everything related to that, but I gotta say, interviewing is a pretty rough life, especially because none of that is structured. It's just whenever they schedule it, and then you go in and ramble about yourself and try to impress them as much as you can. I didn't really enjoy it, and I don't think that's why I got into the teaching profession, so I can go be a professional interviewee. That is not a very fun thing to do, but thankfully the process is done. I have a job. I am employed, so that is good, and I can move forward with that in my life. If you are anyone that happens to be in the Cincy area of any sort, and if you have, like I said, any gym recommendations or would like to meet up at a gym in good old Cincinnati, please let me know, because I'll be in the area. I'm actually quite close to Kentucky as well, so that holds true for people that live there. But it'll be a unique place to live, and I just posted something about this on my Facebook, but I might be able to go to downtown Cincinnati and catch me some Pokemon. I don't have the app anymore because around where I live, it's an ironic thing. I was actually too lazy to go walk around downtown Akron where I could find some Pokemon, just because I'd work out and not want to feel like walking around. I just wanted to walk around my house and find Pokemon, but that isn't how that game works. But if I go around downtown Cincinnati, I could always find me some Pokemon down there. But I've rambled on for too much more. I guess I'm just a little excited that I have a job, that I'm moving Monday, and it's all moving really quickly. But yeah, I have that next step in my life. So I think just from the nature of how teaching is, I'll probably won't share stories per se of different things that go on, just kind of how the profession itself may affect teaching, and I can kind of try to relate just working to how it could affect my training and this or that, and also perhaps how different events affect it. But I can't imagine I'll be rambling too much about specific things that happen, just because that doesn't seem very professional to do, nor is something that I particularly want to do on my fitness channel. I mostly want to talk about all the gains that I'm hopefully getting. But like I mentioned before, to get back to the actual fitness stuff, when I do my squats on Monday, ideally I want to get to that 430 pounds. I mentioned that a couple times before, which I have done successfully before at a heavier body weight, but I want to do that at the lower body weight, and if I get anything above that, that'll just be a bonus, and I'll be happy with that. But if I do hit the 430, it will be, I suppose, a 17 or 18 pound PR at the body weight that I'll be at, hopefully about that 180 pounds. And it will be, as far as like being in a meet type setting, although it won't really be. I won't be wearing a singlet or anything, just regular shorts, because it's just not required, and there's no reason for me to look silly in a singlet when I don't have to. But anywho, I'll end the video here. If you have any thoughts or comments about anything that's going on, please leave them down below. and look forward to my videos next Monday, I suppose. I don't know if I'll be posting a video on Thursday or Friday. I forget which day I usually post on. One of those 2 days, it will be Thursday or Friday. I don't know if I will be. It just depends on how everything's going with teaching. And I may be cutting it down to one video a week, just depending on all of that until I get a handle on my life, because it will be a pretty radical change going from just being a guy that went to different interviews all summer to being a full-time employee at a school and having to do everything that's involved with teaching. But like I said, over and over, leave your thoughts and comments down below. And as always, thanks for watching and have a wonderful day.